Hey everybody, welcome to the Montezir Critique. I'm Pascal, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new DC movie, The Flash, which stars Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, Michael Shannon, Sasha Calle, Kiersey Clemons, and Ben Affleck. Let's get into it. This is The Flash's solo movie following the events from the Justice League film from 2017. He was also briefly introduced in the 2016 Batman vs. Superman movie. Barry Allen is a very awkward young criminal justice employee working through the system to try and get his father freed after he has been charged with killing his wife, Allen's mother. One night, while struggling with the memories of his mother and realizing that he has essentially lost his father to prison, Barry starts running so incredibly fast, he launches himself into a portal that leads to multiple universes, and soon decides that he'd like to change his tragic past. Of course, as this movie trope has shown us time and time again, that never works out the way these characters think, and all it does is create insane chaos. While I definitely thought there were great original and comedic moments in the movie, as a whole, The Flash doesn't really work as it tries to do its own spin on a storytelling narrative that is appearing way too much all of a sudden. I mean, let's just get into the multiverse of it all. My jaw actually dropped when I realized they were going to do a time travel multiverse thing. How did it come to pass that so many superhero movies are doing this exact thing right now? And the last movie that did this and did it very well is currently still in theaters the same time as The Flash. I understand it's different companies. I just wish that there was some sort of meeting or a conference that let both of these production companies know that they were going to be mining the multiverse all at the same time, because it's just a little tiring right now and it's getting boring, especially when the trope clearly only ever leans one side. It's just kind of becoming a storytelling crutch, in my opinion. Also, the movie doesn't really conclude in a way that shows that there's more that can be done with Barry's story, so it further made me question why exactly they decided to make this movie and release it so many years after we were first introduced to Ezra Miller's Flash. Again, we first met him in 2016 for Batman vs. Superman. 7 years later, the only thing they came up with was, let's see what happens when we try to change the past. I felt like we needed to try a little harder here. It also relies on nostalgia a lot to get the audience's interest. Michael Keaton's Batman from the 80s plays a big role in this movie, and he's genuinely great, but it's not enough to lift the film to exciting new heights. In fact, it just keeps reminding you how much those movies from back in the day were a lot better. For a moment, I just remembered wishing I was watching Batman Returns. The acting was also just fine for the most part. There were times when Ezra really nailed that jumpy, eccentric, awkward young person energy needed for the role, but other times it was just so grating. Kiersey Clemons is also in this for a few scenes as a love interest for Barry, but it's an angle that never really gets off the ground, and I think it's like a thankless role for her. There is also a bloated storyline involving characters from Man of Steel and Superman lore that truly just doesn't work for me. I know that I'm in the minority, but I didn't really enjoy Man of Steel when it came out, so the scenes with Shannon and Kara Zor-El just didn't move me whatsoever. Also, the CGI here is a mess, okay? There's a sequence that involves falling babies, which is very absurd, but it honestly just looks like bad video game graphics. There's also a pretty big fight scene towards the end of the movie that just had kind of the same graphics as well. It really didn't look that pretty to me. I do not recommend seeing this movie in theaters. DC has so much work to do with the interconnected movies they're trying to build or rebuild, because it just really isn't great right now. And I do believe there is superhero fatigue happening currently, at least in my opinion. The trailer for Blue Beetle played right before this movie, and I remember frowning. Like, I need a break, I think, from all the superhero stuff. I was not super excited to see that. So I don't know. I think things have to start getting more interesting and exciting and going in different directions instead of 4 or 5 movies in a row doing the multiverse thing. Like, it's a little strange. I'm certain The Flash will be on streaming sites soon enough, probably on HBO's Max. And so if you're interested, I'd say just wait for it to appear on there. But I don't really recommend this movie, unfortunately. And that is the Mondesir critique. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.